With 257 races, 8 wins, and 32 podiums, Daniel Ricciardo had plenty of experience to back him up. Daniel Ricciardo has officially been dropped by the Visa CashApp Red Bull team after what many already knew was a disappointing and subpar season. Stepping into his shoes is coming at no surprise, but it's Liam Lawson, the 22-year-old New Zealander who made his F1 debut last year at the Dutch Grand Prix. Ricciardo's road back to Formula 1 has had some serious ups and downs. After a tough couple years at McLaren, Ricciardo was not even sure if he wanted to continue racing, but by 2022 he found himself back at Red Bull as that third social media PR driver. You can say he was kind of a safety net for the team because of the fact that he was not behind the wheel yet, but he was close enough to smell some of the burnt rubber. At the time, all he wanted to do was make a full return to the grid and possibly reclaim a spot on the main Red Bull racing team. Then in 2023, Ricciardo got his chance with the Visa CashApp RB team, formerly known as AlphaTauri. He took over for Nick de Vries, who had not been performing well, and Ricciardo saw this as the perfect opportunity to prove himself. With Sergio Perez not exactly crushing it at the main Red Bull team, Ricciardo probably thought he had a real shot to get back in. But things didn't go as planned. A hand injury at Zandvoort sidelined Ricciardo for 5 races, and in came Liam Lawson to fill the seat, and let's just say Lawson made the most of it. Even though Ricciardo eventually returned, the clock was ticking, and his performances were not as sharp as they needed to be. Sure, there were some good moments, but nothing consistent enough to convince Red Bull that Ricciardo could be their man and should be their man long term. He was always meant to be that safety net, but when your performances are shaky, even the net starts to give way. Ricciardo's form was worse than anyone had expected. By mid-season, he'd lost the head-to-head qualifying battle against his teammate Yuki Tsunoda and was not scoring points the team needed. Meanwhile, Checo, whose own future has been a talking point this year, and despite his ups and downs, he has still managed to deliver 4 podiums in 2024. So the idea of Ricciardo swooping in to take Checo's seat started looking like a long shot. Now, Liam Lawson has been waiting for this moment for what seems like forever. Once he got that chance last year in 2023, he didn't waste it. He stepped in during Ricciardo's injury and delivered great results, including scoring his first F1 points in Singapore. Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko had been watching Lawson for a while, and the young driver's strong performances gave Marko all the reason he needed to push for Lawson's long-term involvement. But why drop Ricciardo now? Well, Red Bull does not exactly have a reputation for being patient when it comes to their drivers. Look what they did with Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon, both dropped mid-season when their performances didn't meet expectations. Red Bull needs results, and when they don't get them, changes happen fast. Ricciardo sadly was no exception. With only 6 races left in 2024, Red Bull sees this likely as the perfect time to give Lawson more experience to test out what he's really made of before making any long-term decisions for 2025. And let's not forget that Visa and CashApp, which are 2 major US sponsors, probably had their say in all this. Ricciardo's commercial appeal was part of the reason for his comeback, but with performance not meeting expectations, the sponsors may have leaned toward giving someone fresh, like Lawson, a shot to bring some excitement back to the team. So here we are. Ricciardo is out, and Liam Lawson is in. But how is Lawson going to handle this opportunity? Well, Liam has 6 races to show what he can do, and there is a lot on the line. Red Bull will be watching closely not just to see if Lawson can keep the team competitive, but also to see how he stacks up against Yuki Tsunoda. Now, the whole point of upcoming races would be to figure out the future of Red Bull's driver lineup for 2025 and beyond, especially now with rumors circulating of Checo's imminent retirement. Lawson has the talents and skills, no doubt, but stepping into Ricciardo's shoes will come with a lot of pressure, especially since Ricciardo's send-off was lackluster at best. As for Ricciardo, it's hard to see where he goes from here. There is talk of ambassador roles or even racing in other series, but it looks like his time in Formula 1 sadly is over for now. What do you think of this change by Visa CashApp Red Bull this late in the season? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any future videos.